Okay, guys, second lesson this week, rational functions, intercepts, how to find intercepts. And this is the last step before we actually start graphing rational functions. So just so you know, we do know how to find x and y intercepts. We've done it. It's the same way we find it for any type of function. So you have done this before. There's just one slight different rule that goes with it. I'm going to kind of zoom in here a little bit so you can see a little better. So to find my y-intercept, I set x equal to 0 and find f of 0. Okay? That's it. I set x equal to 0, I plug it in, find out what y equals. Okay? And then to find my x-intercept, I set f of x equal to 0 or y equal to 0 and solve for x. Okay? So note, f of x equals 0 is when the numerator is 0. Remember, if I set the denominator equal to 0, that finds out what is not allowed in my domain. So if the solution is not in the denominator, didn't give myself enough room, then this is not an x-intercept. So basically what that means, if I find a solution, set my numerator equal to 0, solve for it, and that solution makes my denominator 0, it's not an x-intercept. That would be either one of two things. It's either a whole or a vertical asymptote, so it's not an x-intercept, which is something we've already found. So it has to be part of my domain in order for it to be an x-intercept. So want to push that out there at you. So here we go. We have some examples. It just says find the x and y intercepts. Here we go. So we're going to start with the easiest one, which is the y-intercept. Okay, y-intercept. So y-intercept, I set x equal to 0. X equals 0. So I have f of 0. That equals 0 squared plus 3 times 0 minus 4, all divided by 0 plus 3. So f of 0 equals negative 4 over 3. Because this is 0, 0. Just plug it into your calculator, get your answer. So my y-intercept is 0, negative 4 thirds. That would be my point. Okay? So now we're going to go to my x-intercept. Okay, x-intercept is where I set y equal to 0, or f of x equal to 0. Okay, so when I do this, I'm going to set my numerator equal to 0. Okay, so set numerator equal to 0 and solve. Okay, so I've got x, my numerator, x squared plus 3x minus 4 equals 0. Let's see. Give me two numbers that multiply to be negative 4 and add to be 3. I think that's going to be 4 and negative 1. So this factors to x plus 4 times x minus 1 equals 0. So then I get two things that are multiplied together that equal 0. That means one of those things has to be 0. So x plus 4 equals 0 or x minus 1 equals 0. So x is going to either equal negative 4 or positive 1. Now I want to check and make sure neither of those make my denominator 0. Well, does it? Does negative 4 make my denominator 0? No. The only thing that's going to make my denominator 0 is negative 3. So neither one of those is going to make my denominator 0. So my x-intercept, I'm going to have one at negative 4, 0, and one at 1, 0. I just have two x-intercepts. Is that okay? Yes, yes it is. Okay. There we go. That's all there is to it. So let's go ahead and go on to the next one. All right. So this says we're going to do the same thing. So find the y-intercept. I'm going to find f of 0. So I get 0 squared plus 0 minus 6 over 0 minus 2. So f of 0 equals negative 6 over negative 2, which equals 3. So my y-intercept is 0, 3. Okay? Now I'm going to find my x-intercept, or x-intercepts. Okay? Same thing, I'm going to take my numerator and set it equal to 0. And the only thing it can't equal is, let's see, the only thing it can't equal would be 2. So I've got, let's see, x squared plus x minus 6 equals 0. So I need two numbers that multiply to be negative 6 and add to be 1. Oops, 1. So I think that's going to be 3 and negative 2. So x plus 3 and x minus 2 equals 0. So x plus 3 equals 0, or x minus 2 equals 0. So x either equals negative 3 or positive 2. Well, I have an issue with positive 2 because positive 2 makes my denominator 0, so it can't be that. So my x-intercept is going to be negative 3, 0. I only have one x-intercept right now because the other one makes my denominator 0, so I can't have that. Okay, one more. I think one more and we're done. Awesome. So we're doing the same thing. And I've got my y-intercept. Y-intercept, I'm going to set x equal to 0. So I've got f of 0 is going to equal 1 over 0 plus 5, which is going to equal 1 over 5. So my x-intercept is 0, 1/5. Okay? And then my x-intercept is where I take my numerator, which is 1, and set it equal to 0. Well, that's not true. 1 does not equal 0. Since there's no variables, we know that's not true. So my x-intercept, there is none. No x-intercepts. Because 1 cannot equal 0. Okay, that's it. That's it. You have a Delta Math assignment. For some of you, you have a summary. If you have any questions, call your teacher or email your teacher. Go into the video chats that your teachers have. Ask questions. A couple more weeks and we're done, you guys. We will talk to you soon. Have a good night. Bye.